All content and material used in this video are for purposes of review and commentary under terms of fair use. Also, the following views expressed in this video are of personal opinion. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, and also spoilers. Well, that doesn't really matter. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to StormKing Summer 2011 Anime Final Impression. Let's get this anime montage started! First up is Exorcist. Now, my overall final impressions and feel of Exorcist is that yes, I did enjoy the anime series. Now given, there is the outstanding fact that yes, the anime series did deter from the manga plot. You have Exorcist the manga, and Exorcist the anime. The anime basically became its own continuity at around episode 15 is when it split off from the manga continuity. Now, regardless of that fact, I still enjoyed Exorcist because of, first off, is the voice actors. The voice acting for Exorcist was incredibly well done. For Okumura Rin and Okumura Yukio, and respectively, the voice actors are Okamoto Nobuhiko and Fukuyama Jun. Now, when it came between these two voice actors, it really felt like they were brothers. They were totally in sync with one another. They were totally acting upon each other. You could feel the emotion between the two. The voice acting was that well done for just Rin and Yukio. And I'm not even talking about the other voice actors who also did very well in Exorcist. And another point that I'd like to point out is, secondly, the animation for Exorcist was incredible. Well, it was top-notch for, it was well done, because most anime standards should be well done. Now, there's one thing I'd like to point out, is that the flame effects. Now, for those of you who do not know, a couple years back, some anime studios would, instead of, drawing flames, would do CGI flames with their animation. And for those of you who do not know, CGI flames absolutely look horrible. When it comes to A1 Pictures, they drew the flame effects, and I gotta give them a, applause and a thumbs up for doing that, for not just, ruining the whole animation because of, cheesy flame effects. And third and lastly, the music for Exorcist was well done. I mean, the first and second openings, the first was, light J-rock, and the second one was heavy J-rock, and then the endings were dance J-pop. It was really good. The songs were really good. And I totally love this whole orchestral, holy kind of feel for the background music. So yes, when it comes to Exorcist, the anime, I totally and thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you guys should watch it and check it out. Next up is Baka to Testo to Shoukanjuu ni. Now, you all should remember my first impressions of Baka Testo, before the second series, started airing. I was like, oh, I don't know, this is a little bit questionable. I don't know if the second season will be as good as the first season, blah 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 blah. Yeah, forget all that. Forget all of it. Baka Testo 2 is so much more better than Baka Testo 1. Now, yes, Baka Testo established the universe and the series of Baka Testo, but Baka Testo 2 takes that and totally revamps it. The music is much more incredible and entertaining. The voice acting and the voice actors, much more entertaining, and the scripting and the lines was just so hilarious. The animation and the overall feel of the anime just got more crazier. It's just like Kami no Mi 2 to Kami no Mi 1. Baka Testo 2 to Baka Testo 1 is a revamp of Baka Testo, and totally got more entertaining, much more hilarious, and just got more crazy. If you guys haven't seen Baka Testo 1, I suggest you watch it so that you can watch Baka Testo 2, because you cannot miss out on Baka Testo 1 and 2, these crazy series. Next up is Blood Sea. What a plot hole-induced train wreck and a half series this was. Now, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy Blood Sea. To a certain extent, question mark. Now, what was it that I did enjoy from Blood Sea? And what I did enjoy was the music? Yes, I did enjoy the music. The opening, which was done by Dust with a Z on the end, it was a J-rock genre, very catchy opening. You know, it had some Japanese lyrics mixed in with some French lyrics, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, it was quite a catchy tune. And the ending was done by Mizuki Nana, in her usual epic vocal orchestral type of fashion, much to the Mizuki Nana that I like. And the background music was, it was average. It was at most. It was well done, but average. You know, it had lots of violin and cello, but whatever. The animation was mediocre at best, I think. You know, it was well done. It was quite fluid. It went into the heavy red pigments a lot. You know, it was quite attracted to the heavy red pigments. And the characters, which were done by Clamp, and designed by Clamp, by the way, you know, it was stick figure-ish, but whatever. Now comes the problem to Blood Sea. The major problem was, what the hell was it trying to do? I mean, I had troubles trying to find any scrap of coherency or, you know, plot point that was Blood Sea. You know, it wasn't until like the very last, you know, couple of episodes of Blood Sea did they start trying to answer some questions at a very rushed pace. And, well, you know, there were some questions that were answered, but there was still some left open for the movie to answer, I guess. But then again, I am hoping for a lot. You know, expecting for the movie to answer the still remaining questions of, what were you trying to do of Blood Sea? But yes, you know, Blood Sea had a major problem of what was it trying to do, what kind of message was it trying to send, where was it trying to go? Now, just as a little, you know, tidbit of trivia, for those of you who don't know, that little dog, there's a little dog that's voiced by Fukuyama Jun. And this dog kept on telling Saya, I have a wish that I'm going to grant to you, but at a price. Now, for those of you who can't see the pattern right now, 1. Fukuyama Jun. 2. Answering a wish but at a cost. 3. Clamp. Kimihiro Watanuki much? Yes, that's right. For those of you who do not know, Blood Sea is also known to a fandom as Blood Clamp. And somehow it is related to the Clamp universe. So, to ease most Blood fans, don't think of Blood Sea as an addition to the Blood universe, but just think of it as a Clamp series that takes elements from the Blood universe. And that is what eases myself at night. Next up is Dantalian no Shoka, and I really enjoyed this series. I thoroughly enjoyed this anime series. And Dantalian no Shoka was not an anime that was all about, you know, epic battle scenes where people pull out their guns, swords, or energy blasts. No. Dantalian no Shoka was not that type of anime. It was very heavy in dialogue. It was a mystery, supernatural, and historical genre-based anime, where the major concept of the anime and the major plot point was Gensho, aka illusory books, where just reading them could change the very fabric of existence in the world. And that really attracted me into watching this anime. And I gotta admit, at first it seemed, you know, slow, and it is slow at times, but if you invest the time to watching it, it is a very good payoff. I really enjoyed it. You know, this is just me saying. You know, this is just me talking, though. And the voice acting was incredibly well done. The voice actors for Dalian and Hugh Anthony Disward, respectively, Sawashiro Miyuki and Ono Daisuke, had really good synchronicity between the two of them. You know, the way that they bounced lines off each other and just them acting off each other was well done, which is why I gotta say, you gotta try out and watch Dantalian no Shoka. Next up is Hanasaku iroha. Now, for Hanasaku iroha, you know, this isn't a major, you know, build up to a very big plot point kind of anime. No. Hanasaku iroha is a slice of life anime where it just depicts the everyday life of Matsumae Ohana. You know, after her mother does her own thing and drops her off at her grandmother's place, and Ohana has to start working for her grandmother at a hot springs inn. After that, you know, that initial build-up, it just takes off, and there you go, slice of life anime depicting the everyday life of Ohana. And you know what? I did enjoy this anime. I really took it and enjoyed it for what it was. You know, a slice of life, not to be taken too seriously. The music was well done, the voice acting was incredibly well done, and the animation was really, really beautiful. It was very soft on the eyes. So, you know, when it comes to Hanasaku iroha, you know, some may not like it, but I do like it. Because of the fact that it's not supposed to be taken too seriously, the voice acting, the animation, all beautiful and well done. So overall, would I recommend watching Hanasaku iroha? Yes! I think you should watch it. Next up is Ikoku Meiro no Croisée. Now, for Ikoku Meiro no Croisée, I really enjoyed this anime. Because of the fact that, you know, it's really, incredibly, and utterly adorable. Yune is such an adorable character. And the major plot, you know, the plot that is Ikoku Meiro no Croisée is Yune, who comes from Japan, flies over, or goes over, to Paris, France, and starts working at an iron workshop. And then from there on, it's just her interacting with other characters, the environment, and cats, because Yune really likes cats. And I thoroughly enjoyed this anime because it's not to be taken seriously, and it's just so cute. It's adorable, you know, Yune and cats, and yeah, that's all there is to Ikoku Meiro no Croisée. So, should you watch this anime? If you want to watch something that is mind-numbingly cute and adorable and doesn't require a lot of concentration, it's just laid back and slice of life, yes! Watch Ikoku Meiro no Croisée, because I recommend it. Or you can just try it out and see if you like it. Next up is Itsuka Tenma no Kurousagi. Now, the best way to describe my overall final impressions and feelings of Itsuka is that, well, it was a mediocre anime at best. You know, there wasn't much going for it other than stereotypical shonen character meets up with a girl he promised to meet up with again, and then releases her from her prison, and then supernatural events occur, and from there on it progresses in a stereotypical shonen kind of story where guy wants to get stronger, promises to protect girl, training montage ensues. And that was it. You know, the voice acting was well done. It was not bad. It was, actually no, it was well done. It was well done. But other than that, you know, it majorly concentrated on the ecchi pervertedness that is Itsuka. And, you know, most of the time it's just, you know, 1 or 2 eps of, you know, heavy story where, you know, major conflict. And then the rest of it is slice of life. So, would I recommend watching Itsuka? I guess if you're curious, but if you miss out on this anime, you're really not missing out much. Next up is Kamisama Dolls. Now, Kamisama Dolls is all about Kuga Kyohei, who leaves behind his own village and moves for Tokyo because he wants to leave behind all the happenings of a previous event, all the problems, all the responsibilities, in order to study in Tokyo. Now this is all fine and dandy until, you know, a little thing called karma kicks in. And the problem with karma is that it comes back to haunt you in the shape and form of a giant wooden doll controlled by one's own thoughts and will. Now I really enjoyed Kamisama Dolls because of the fact that the anime follows the manga almost exactly. You know, given with some, you know, discrepancies and differences here and there with a couple of scenes. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. The voice acting was top-notch. The animation was... it was average. It was not bad. You know, it's not the most outstanding, most vibrant, most beautiful animation. But it's average. And I really like this anime series, and I think you guys should watch it. And for those of you who watched it, all the way through, hopefully, you also know this. Kamisama Dolls is also getting a second season. So, in addition to me suggesting you watch Kamisama Dolls, also look forward to a second season. Next up is Kamisama no Memochou, or Kami Memo for short. Now, the best way I can describe and identify Kami Memo is that it's basically a gosick, except set in a modern age. And the whole story behind it is that, well, you have this one guy, this one dude, right? He has nothing much going to him, you know, he has no drive, no dream, no nothing much. Until he meets up with this one girl, you know, this little quirky, strange, and weird girl. That is, until he finds out that this girl is actually a detective and has a special skill set in which she uses to solve mysteries and crimes. And then from there on, the girl hires the ordinary dude to be her assistant in helping solve these crimes and cases. And that's basically it for Kami Memo. Now, if I was to compare Kami Memo to Gosick, which one I preferred, I definitely prefer Kami Memo over Gosick. Now, here's my reasoning. The reason why I prefer Kami Memo over Gosick is that whereas Gosick always focused on, you know, the answer and the truth and, you know, which led to the next case and the next, you know, mystery, I liked Kami Memo because of the fact that it focused more on the people being involved in the case. It focused more on the emotions and the story behind the cases, rather than just focusing on, I want the truth and nothing but the truth. The animation is roughly the same for both Kami Memo and Gosick in that, you know, Kami Memo does its whole dark, mysterious atmosphere with all these dark shades and, you know, not so well lit places. You know, the animation is really good. And it's done by JC Staff, which I really like. The music for Kami Memo is something I found myself enjoying significantly. From the opening, to the ending, to the background music, I enjoyed everything. The opening sounded like an Alanis Morissette song, except Japanese, and pop, and really upbeat. And the ending was a very catchy, melancholic J-rock song that I also found myself enjoying. And the background music for Kami Memo is really unique in that it sounded very angelic. It had an angelic feel to it, and almost inquisitive as well. An angelic, inquisitive feeling. Yeah, we'll go with that. Overall, I found myself really enjoying Kami Memo. From the music, to the animation, to the voice acting, to the characters, I enjoyed every last bit of it. Admittedly, yes, it is a Gosick clone, but JC Staff executed in such a way that it felt a little bit different but familiar, but is its own entity in itself from Gosick. So if you were to ask me, should I watch Kamisama no Memochou, I say yes! You should watch it. It is something that I believe everyone should watch and enjoy. Next up is Mayo Chiki. Now, I came into watching this anime expecting very few things. You know, I had the utmost low expectations with this anime. You know, I was thinking it's gonna be one of those weird, awkward comedies which doesn't really make any sense in the end. But what was really surprising is that despite its weird comedic nature and the less than outstanding plot, the anime was executed quite well. You know, it wasn't because of the plot that made it, you know, surprisingly good. It was because of the character interactions and just basically, okay, it was basically Subaru, but it was the character interactions and the dialogue which made Mayo Chiki really good. Surprisingly good. So, what was thought to be bad actually came out to be surprisingly good. So, would I suggest and recommend watching Mayo Chiki? Actually, yeah. I'm quite taken aback by this. I do suggest you try it out and, you know, see if you like where it's going, and see how it is, and see if you like Subaru, which you probably will anyways. Next up is Sacred 7. Now, you might remember what I said about Sunrise animes, is that Sunrise animes comes in two types. One being really, really good, the other being really, really mediocre. Sacred 7 is the latter. Now, don't get me wrong, Sacred 7 had excellent animation, and excellent voice acting, and the music was quite well done, worth a listen to. Both the opening, the ending, and the background music were well done. But when it comes to the story and the plot itself, it's less than lackluster, subpar at most. I mean, it's just the usual intro hero, conspiracy bad guy, save the damsel in distress, kill the bad guy, save the world, everything happily ever after. There's not much going for it. And the characters themselves weren't really that relatable or far too generic. So, you know, if you give Sacred 7 a watch, I guess, you know, if you like it, you like it. If you find it mediocre, it's mediocre. If you skip out, you know, second episode in, that's fine. But Sacred 7 is mediocre at best. And finally, last up is Usagi Drop. And I gotta say, Usagi Drop is just one of those incredible animes that can be seen and watched by anyone at any age, regardless of whether or not they watch anime, because of Usagi Drop's story and plotline. That is one single man trying to raise a little girl all by himself, and the trial and tribulations that come with raising a child. And you know what? I fell in love with this series. It was absolutely incredible. It always brought a heartwarming smile to me. You know, the animation was so incredible. I love the first 30 seconds to a minute of that pastel effect. And the voice acting was also incredible. The music was very, very slice of life. And I love the whole message that Usagi Drop passed on. And that is, it is not easy to raise a child. You know, you have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of time into raising a child, and you have to sacrifice a lot of things into raising a child. But it is worth it in the end, no matter what. So I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not watch this anime, you are missing out on something incredible. Please watch Usagi Drop. I know you will enjoy it. So that's it for my summer 2011 anime final impression. I hope you really enjoyed it, and basically I really enjoyed summer animes. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, you know, despite there may be one or two animes which were really questionable and subpar at most, but overall I did enjoy it. So this is StormKing signing off with summer 2011 anime final impression, telling you to watch some anime, read some manga, you'll like it, and I'll see you in the next video.